Benny Hobbs, absolute legend over in the UK. I'll be playing 20 and 40 overs this year. For you personally, how does your mindset intent change based on the length of cricket you're playing? Very, very good question. And this is a question Josh Philippi answered inside our Q&A that we did like last week or the week before. So if you haven't seen that, Benny, anyone who wants advice around changing their mindset and intent for different formats, under special guests on the left-hand side, click on the Q&A we did with Flip, and you'll be able to learn from what Josh does, because he's obviously a fantastic young player who's transitioning between the different formats. For me, it's about risk. The smaller the length of the game, the shorter the game, the more risk you're willing to take to score runs. If you're playing 90 overs, like we play two-day cricket, 90 overs, then you're going to take lower risk, less risk, and you're going to let the game come to you. You're going to play less shots. You're going to sort of let them bowl to your areas and generally just try and accumulate your runs. Whereas if I'm playing a 20-20, I'm going to possibly try and take the game on early. I'm going to walk at the ball. I'm going to walk across my stumps. I'm going to try and hit it across the line. I'm going to do all sorts of different things to score at a faster rate. So I guess it's just about understanding your strengths, Ben, and then really, regardless of the format, you want to try and play to your strengths. I'm not going to go over it in this, but again, if anyone hasn't watched the video with Chris Rogers, it's in our special guests, Buck talks about batting in second gear, and he talks about why the best players are able to score off more balls. And in T20 cricket, I think the best T20 batters have a very few dot balls. They hit good shots, and when the ball's in their zone, they hit it for 4 or 6, but generally they have low dot ball counts. Whereas some other players who aren't quite as good at it, they get 2 or 3 dots, and then they have to play a big shot. So for me, it's just about trying to score off more dots. I have to assess, as a batter, as a top order batter, you have to assess the conditions pretty quickly. The ball's the pitch is slow and low and not coming on. Maybe it's hard to run the ball down to third man. Maybe it's easier to hit the ball back over the bowler's head. So you've got to assess the conditions whenever you bat, whatever the format, whatever the situation of the game. You've got to assess the conditions, the wicket and whatever, how much the ball's moving early. But it's just about minimising dots, I think, and then knowing, okay, so for me, I know that if they bowl 4th, 5th stump and slightly over pitch, I can play a drive. If they're a bit straight, I might be looking just to punch it past the bowler for 1 or 2. But if they're a bit wider, maybe I'm going to try and throw my hands through it to get a boundary. Or if I know that if it's medium pacer and the wicket's bouncing in that bit back of a length, I know that I can rock back and try and hit over mid-wicket for a boundary. If they're a bit quicker and they bowl like knee roll or to my waist, then I can run it down to third man. So through experience, I'm understanding my game and understanding my strengths and weaknesses and understanding what I can do to each ball. So I guess the answer is, and again, go and watch the Josh video in the special guest, go and watch the Buck video in the special guest. They give some fantastic insights into these sort of things. But it's just about risk, managing risk. If you're playing a longer format, you can take more time to get in. You don't have to take high risk. If you're playing a shorter format, maybe you only take 2 or 3 balls, then you start to be a bit more creative. You start to move around your crease. You start to play bigger shots to those sort of balls. But again, you don't need to slog. 2020 cricket's not about slogging. You can hit. You can actually hit and play, do some proper hitting. But you watched James Vince bat the other night when he got his 98 not out, and he just played proper cricket shots. He got in positions that allowed him to score all around the ground, and gee, it was good watching. So, Benny, I hope that helps, mate. And yeah, go check out that other content we've got in here.